Don't speedrun RuneScape. Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So in today's video, we're going to discuss on how you shouldn't speedrun the game, how you should take things slow and enjoy the ride. RuneScape is very different from a lot of the other games that I've played in the past, where it can take you hundreds, even up to thousands of hours to get the goals that you want to achieve. Even just to get a simple 99 can take you hundreds of hours to do so. Now, I've always been a completionist type player, and I would like to just start one goal and just go until I finish it, but this is a really bad approach to eventually get yourself to burn out of the game, and there's no point in speedrunning the game when you can take things slow, learn a ton, and actually have fun with the game. Now, you shouldn't wait until you have a max cape to actually have fun with the game, right? Why would I learn God War's dungeon when I could be training agility and going for that max cape? Okay, so I'm going to talk about some things that I wish I kind of did in my RuneScape journey on the way towards maxing instead of just grinding out maxing. I wish I learned all of the bosses a lot sooner. Now, there's no point in not learning them, right? You get a Slayer task to kill, say, Abyssal Demons. Why not go and learn the Abyssal Sire? Or you get Hellhounds. Why not go and learn Cerberus? It's so much more fun. You get that surprise element where you could get a really cool drop, and you get to learn a lot more about PvM. Now, the problem is, you do boss Slayer, it's really not the best experience in the game, right? And it can take you a very long time to complete tasks and even learn the mechanics of the boss. But it's just a lot more fun, memorable, and you can actually make a lot of money and a lot of progress on your account. Especially if you have an Ironman account, you can unlock those drops that you need to kill the boss in camp anyways. And not even just like Slayer bosses, go and learn all of them. Start with something like Barrows or the Giant Mole, and then eventually move up to say Zulrah or Vorkath, and then, maybe even take on a raid when you get a lot better. Don't be so XP focused all of the time. I would honestly say that learning the mechanics of bossing and movement around the game, and even just learning other things like questing and clue scrolls and locations is just as important as gaining fast levels. Another thing I think you should definitely learn is a raid. Pick any one of the raids. I've started off with the Tombs of Amasket and absolutely fell in love with this raid. I need to learn the other two still. I've done a couple of them, but I'm not really good at it. The Tombs of Amasket is a really good place to start because you can actually scale the raid and make it as easy as you want or as difficult as you want and do it in a group or solo, right? It's a really solo-friendly raid, and honestly, it isn't too bad to get into and learn. There's some crazy mechanics in there, but if you go a couple times, do a few entry modes, or do it with some people, you can definitely learn it, and it's just a lot of fun going through a raid, killing all the 4 bosses, doing a couple puzzles here and there, and then finally taking on the end boss. Now, the cool thing about raids is you usually don't get a great reward, and they can take about an hour, right? But you really do get to learn a lot of knowledge about PvM and even puzzles and stuff like that. It's also a good way to make friends and form like communities like that. You can even get into a clan this way, and if you do get lucky, you could land a huge big ticket drop and make billions of GP. Instead of, training agility for 6 hours, train agility for 4 and spend the other 2 hours raiding. It's really as easy as that, right? You don't have to be so XP focused all of the time. Now, I'm going to say your first 99 cape should honestly be the quest cape. I really think the quest cape is a great thing to go for because you're not really grinding it, if that makes any sense, right? You can't just fully grind it out, stick to one place and get all the levels. There's so much required for the quest cape. You need to train tons of different skills, unlock tons of different areas, learn how to get so many different items yourself, and make a lot of money to buy the certain items. There's so much involved with the quest cape, and by the time you get the quest cape, you will have a very well-rounded account, be good at puzzles, be good at bosses, be good at just spending a lot of time on the game, learning the map, learning the areas and everything like that. The quest cape is something that I think a lot of players should go for first because you learn so much about the game and you can't really speed run it, right? I mean, you can in a way, in a sense, but quests take a certain amount of time, even if you're very experienced with the game. And then it gives you a bit of flavor too, right? You're not going to spend 200 hours on one skill. You're going to skill hop, and this is a good way to figure out which skills you like the best too, right? Say you need 70 cooking for this one quest, Recipe for Disaster. Go train a little bit of cooking, see if you like the skill or not, and then knock all of the requirements out and get the quest done. I would always tell people to not go crazy with questing either. Don't do 20 quests in a day. Obviously, that's how you burn out. I would say do 1 quest a day until you knock out that quest cape. It'd be a really good thing to go for on a lower leveled account, and then you will have a very well-rounded account by the end of it. Also, you could go for the achievement diary cape. That's a little bit more advanced. There's a lot more things in order to do this, but say you could go for all of the medium tasks or the hard tasks. You don't have to go for the elite right off the bat. It can be something that you slowly work towards as well. And the good thing about this is you will get a lot of experience lamps, a lot of cool bonuses and perks throughout the game that can really help you out, and use the XP lamps on whatever skill you want. You don't have to use it on, say, agility or herblore if you're an Ironman. Use it on whatever skill you want. Another thing I really wish I focused more on is mini games. Mini games can be a lot of fun, right? It's sometimes playing this game is about fun and not experience and grinding. I would highly recommend you at least start with something like pest control. Get yourself full void so you get to learn a little bit of mini games, connect with some people, and you're also getting a really cool armor out of it, right? A hybrid armor that's good for all 3 styles. It's definitely worth doing and checking out. Another one you should do is do Barbarian Assault. You could even just start it, get to learn all of the 5 roles, and maybe go for, say, your torso. And later on down the line, you're going to have to get level 5 in all of the Barbarian Assault roles in order to complete an elite achievement diary, but you might as well learn the minigame and figure out what to do and see if you like it or not. Now, there's lots of other mini games. A lot of them only have, like, say, cosmetic rewards, like Castle Wars and stuff like that. But, you know, from time to time, check them out and just have some fun. It's not all about experience all the time. Another thing I really wished I focused on when going for the max cape was clue scrolls. You get clue scrolls from skilling or, you know, training, Slayer, and PVM. You get all the different types of clue scrolls, starting with beginner, going all the way up to master. And I highly recommend you try and do all of the ones that you can. Now, I know there's going to be some limiting factors, like you can't complete a certain quest yet, or maybe you're an Ironman and you can't get that item, and then of course you're going to have to drop the clue scroll. But just like going for the quest cape, where you have to get all of those level requirements and you grind it out and that's what you're focused on, I think you should do the exact same thing with clue scrolls, right? When you get a clue scroll, you never know what's going to be inside. It could be something as well worth billions of GP, or it could be something that, you know, 100k. It doesn't really matter, right? But getting the requirements for it is also progressing your account without just speed running and going for 99 right off the bat, right? Say you need to get fish a shark for this clue and you only have, say, 50 fishing, then, you know, spend a few days fishing, get that fishing level up. You'll have the fishing level forever, and then you can finally complete the clue scroll. This is a really good way to build your account without burning out and speed running the game. I also recommend for the clue scrolls to build the stash units for it, so the next time you get the clue scroll, you can knock it out a lot easier. Now, a great way to not speedrun this game is to play an Ironman account. Speedrunning the game can be very simple, right? Say you want 99 cooking, and all you have to do is make a certain amount of money, and something like cooking is actually profitable. There's a bunch of skills that are profitable. Cooking, we've got fletching, you can even make money with smithing and stuff like that, right? So if you kind of figure it out, you can just buy all the supplies, get 99, not even think about it, and that's all you can do with the game, right? But by playing an Ironman account, you can't. You won't have bulk supplies, and you will never have the best in slot item. Well, I shouldn't say never, but most of the time you won't have the best in slot item. And another thing with Ironman, right, is you get to use all of the resources that you've gained throughout the journey. And what do I mean by this is you're going to be, say, using lower level herbs to make all the potions that you possibly can. So it really puts all the items and all of your work into a use. Rather than on, like, say, a main account, you just get the best stuff all of the time. Now, I feel like playing an Ironman account is similar to going for the quest cape, right? Because in a way, you're forced to do all different types of content, because you can't just go train Slayer on an Ironman, right? You're going to need to train herblore to make some potions. You're going to need to train fishing and cooking to get some food to heal yourself. You might need to train smithing to make some gear. So you're kind of forced to do all content at once, right? And this will really make you want to do more mini games to maybe get some better equipment or better stats and stuff like that, better items to use. It'll make you want to do quests more because those rewards mean a lot more, right? You can't just buy the best in slot all the time. You got to use what you actually have. So I really think the best way to not speedrun the game is by playing an Ironman account. Now, the very first RuneScape account that I ever played, the second I saw a 99 cape, I just wanted it, right? And then it was very addictive to go 1, keep going and getting all of them, and then eventually getting the max cape. And the same thing with, you know, when 120 capes came out in RuneScape 3, I saw one, I wanted it, and I just kept going and going and going, and eventually it was with the same with 200 mils. And I would kind of just stay on one skill for like hundreds and hundreds of hours without ever hopping, which is really weird. I don't even know how I didn't get burnt out. I guess I eventually did a RuneScape 3. But then with this Ironman account, I took a totally different approach, right? I would, you know, train all of my skills relatively the exact same way, right? So I would say get base 20s, base 30s, base 40s. And I didn't always do this. There was some exceptions, like on an Ironman, you can't really train Herblore all of the time. So I would try and keep my skills relatively the same level for most of it, right? And this was a lot more fun than grinding, say, you know, 99 mining, that's it. And then all my other skills are level 1. It was really cool to actually keep them all pretty balanced. I still went for 99s, right? I didn't do a lot of the fun stuff that I mentioned in this video until I actually did max the account. I maxed back in November, and I didn't even know how to do God Wars Dungeon until I maxed the account. It's kind of sad, to be completely honest with you. But now that I'm maxed, I'm actually doing the content that I want to do that I wish I did along the journey, right? I'm really focused now on clue scrolls, learning different boss mechanics, raiding, different mini games, unlocking everything that I possibly can. And, you know, I train the skills that I really want to now. So I like to train Slayer, so it's my favorite skill of choice. So maybe we'll go for 200 mil Slayer. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to not speedrun RuneScape, take it slow, and enjoy the ride. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya later.